Yo, it's Jivu. I hope you're having a spectacular day today, and after 8 years of playing this game, I finally want to know how much faster performance upgrades actually make your car. So I took the Niobe around a track with no performance upgrades and then with all performance upgrades. And I also tested HSW vehicles, so if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around. If this kind of stuff interests you, make sure to subscribe because I put this much effort into all of my videos. Thank you guys, and let's get straight to it. So the first test I did was for the Niobe with no upgrades, and if you guys didn't know, the spoiler actually has a performance upgrade on it as well as the tires, so I make sure to test the tires as well. So the Niobe with no upgrades took 2 minutes and 1 second to get around this track, and I made sure to pick a track with a good amount of turns as well, so things like the suspension, the brakes, and the spoiler will actually make a difference. Then I took the Niobe around the track with all upgrades, and this is no HSW, this is the base mode car just with normal performance upgrades, and it ended up taking 1 minute 56 seconds. So that comes out to about a 4% faster time. Now I don't know about y'all, but for the 100 to 200 grand that I'd be spending on these upgrades, I was kind of hoping for a faster time than that. The difference is probably bigger on different cars, but I just chose the Niobe because it's all-wheel drive and it can get that power onto the ground a little bit faster. And next up we brought out the big dog, the HSW Niobe. And there's actually a little pattern that appears to be going on. So the non-upgraded was 2 minutes 1, the upgraded with no HSW was 156, a 5-second difference, and then the HSW Niobe was 151, another 5-second difference. Due to the smaller numbers though, because of 2 minutes 1 and 156 and 156 and 150, you get the idea. It's a 4.5% difference rather than a 4%. But it almost seems like Rockstar has a little benchmark to go off of, that it shouldn't save you too much time. It's almost like 5 seconds is the Goldilocks zone. But that's only for this track and for this car. So we're going to try to switch it up and do a couple more tests. But first, I want to test the difference of tires. So I don't necessarily know if track tires are like the second best, but I do know off-road tires are actually the best to run on your car. It doesn't matter if you're off-road or not, this thing will actually decrease the time that it takes to finish the track. Which gave me the same time as the first upgraded car run that I did, but that was also with off-road tires. However, I was learning the track more and more as I did this test, so I was pushing it as hard as I could every single time. And so next up, I did the off-road tire and actually ended up saving 3 seconds, not to mention the little hiccup where I go up on 2 wheels. And so the difference doesn't necessarily come from higher top speed, but more grip and speed through the corners it's able to maintain without sliding out. But enough with that malarkey, let's get to some different tests. Now I did run all these tests with these vehicles on the track as well, not only just on the full map sprint, but I'm trying to keep this video short and concise, so I'll probably just throw up on the screen the numbers of how much faster they were. So where HSW really shines is the top speed, so I made sure to do a drive all the way across the map full speed in a fully upgraded car and then a fully upgraded HSW car, and I did this with 4 different vehicles. The non-HSW Niobe took about 3 minutes 7 seconds to cross the map, and the HSW took 2 minutes 35. That comes out to about a 17% time save. Back to the point of what I expect for the time I save versus the money I spent. Definitely not 3 times the money spent. That would only be about 600k. For a full HSW upgrade, it can be anywhere from 1.5 to 2 mil or 1 to 2 mil. So I would expect a little bit more of a time save, but it's definitely still worth it. The next vehicle I tested was the Banshee GTS, the fastest vehicle in the game. Now for this car you would expect a big time gap, but it's actually not a very big difference from the HSW to the base version, because the base version is already the fastest non-HSW vehicle in the game, or at least non-HSW car in the game, but the HSW is also the fastest. So you only get about a 30-second time gain, with the non-HSW taking 256 and the HSW taking 228. Even then, it still comes out to a 16.5% difference, which kind of shows HSW cars are the same thing. They have a good benchmark for how much faster they should be than the original version. Now, keep in mind, this isn't going to be the most precise results. Like I said, this is more an entertainment, curiosity kills the cat kind of thing. I just really wanted to see, is it that big of a difference? I probably did have a couple light taps during these drives, but I made sure if I slammed into something and completely came to a stop or lost a bunch of speed that I did restart. Now this next car though, the numbers really do start to matter, because this is the normal Banshee from 2013. This car has the best time difference between a base mode and the HSW upgrade. Obviously that comes down to the fact that the Banshee was in the game when the game dropped, and the Banshee HSW came out maybe 10 years later, so they really did increase the speed on this one. The original Banshee took 3 minutes 26 seconds, and the Banshee HSW took 2 minutes 44. So that's a 44-second time difference, or a 20% speed increase. So this kind of holds up one of the points I made in my previous videos, which is if you're a starter, the normal Banshee making HSW is going to be one of your best choices for a starter vehicle. If y'all didn't know, you can also do the HSW time trial that Hal gives you up in like the Vinewood Hills area, and it'll give you a free HSW upgrade. So that can make this car go from a $2 million purchase down to about a $1 million purchase after all HSW upgrades. Now I have one more vehicle I tested here. I made sure to include one for the biker boys. So I got the Hakuchu Drag. Now I did kind of get screwed here by the rain, but I don't think that will affect the top speed. If it does, please let me know down in the comments below. But what we're really looking for is the time difference, so I don't think it'll make too big of a difference. So the base mode Hakuchu Drag took 3 minutes 7 seconds, and the HSW took 2 minutes 36, which comes out to a 16.5% speed difference. Now that's all the vehicles I tested in today's video, so what we can take away from this is that if you're within the city, it doesn't really matter what car you take. You're only going to be losing about 5% of your time if you take a non-HSW vehicle. But if you're driving up to the top of the map, please take an HSW vehicle. You're going to save a lot of your time over the course of playing the game. And that does it for today's video, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, you're a real G. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.